Have you ever walked into a room only to completely forget why you went there, or bumped into a familiar face whose name instantly vanished into thin air? It's a frustrating experience that most of us treat as a flaw, a sign of a failing memory or a personal shortcoming. But what if forgetting isn't a bug in your brain's operating system, but one of its most essential features? The ability to forget isn't just normal, it's vital for your survival, your creativity, and your daily sanity. For centuries, scientists and thinkers have wondered why some moments stick with us forever, while others simply fade away. To understand how this works, we can look at a few main theories. First, there's Decay Theory, famously illustrated by Hermann Ebbinghaus in the 19th century. Imagine your memories are written in invisible ink. If you don't revisit them, that ink naturally fades over time. If you don't actively try to retain a piece of information, it slowly slips away. However, decay doesn't explain everything. That brings us to interference theory. Think of your brain as a giant filing cabinet crammed with documents. Sometimes those files get mixed up. Proactive interference happens when old memories block new ones, like your old phone number keeps popping into your head instead of your new one. Retroactive interference is the opposite. New information buries the old, like learning Spanish and temporarily forgetting your French vocabulary. The memory isn't necessarily erased, it's just hidden under a pile of competing files. Yet modern neuroscience reveals something even more surprising. Your brain doesn't just passively lose information, it actively works to forget it. Think of your mind as a meticulously maintained garden. Throughout the day, new neural connections sprout like weeds. If left unchecked, your mind would become an overgrown, unusable mess. During sleep, special cellular mechanisms in forgetting cells actively prune those weak connections. It's like defragmenting a hard drive or clearing space on your phone so it runs faster and smoother. Why is this active pruning so important? Because a brain that remembered every single detail would be paralyzed by overload. Imagine trying to navigate a room if you were forced to process every single dust particle, scratch on the floor, or ambient sound. Forgetting allows us to prioritize, focus on the big picture, and adapt to change. From an evolutionary perspective, this was a matter of life and death. If a safe water hole suddenly became dangerous, our ancestors needed to forget its safe status immediately and update their mental map. An inability to update old memories could be fatal. We even see this in conditions like PTSD, where the brain struggles to process and diminish traumatic memories, preventing emotional healing. Beyond survival, forgetting actively fuels human creativity. When your mind isn't clogged with irrelevant details, it creates space for novel connections, fresh ideas, and outside-the-box thinking. So the next time you misplace your keys, don't despair. Your brain might just be clearing out the mental clutter of last week's mundane meetings to make room for something far more important. Forgetting isn't a failure of memory. It's a dynamic, silent superpower that keeps you sharp, adaptable, resilient, and remarkably human. Embrace the beautiful imperfection of how your mind works.